All right, hey guys, OFD checking in here, and as the title suggests, it is time to bring new life to my Casio MDV-106, or the Marlin, as it's affectionately known. I went to get this watch out of the box the other day, or out of the drawer. I actually keep this watch in a drawer next to my bed, and it had stopped. And so obviously it's a quartz watch, and so it needs a battery change. So I'm a big fan of quartz watch, guys. I know a lot of people out there don't like quartz watches, but they've been around for almost 50 years now, guys. I'm actually going to do a 50-year anniversary video here in the near future on quartz watches. That'll be in December coming up, so it's not that close, but I'm going to actually do one of those because of the anniversary, that 50th anniversary. But let's go ahead, and I put the watch on this box here, but let's go ahead and get it off the strap and see about doing this quick battery change here on this watch. Now, I say quick because here I am, I'm doing this on camera, and I don't honestly know how well this is going to go. So I need to get my tool adjusted here to my case back. This is just a cheap case back tool I use, but it tends to work really good for me. I'm able to just go ahead and get it situated in there, and just a little bit of pressure. As you guys can see, I'm usually able to get these case backs turned no problem. So get that started there, and nice look at the little Marlin case back there. And go ahead and pull this off. Now, I think if you guys have never seen the inside of a Casio MDV-106, this is such a classic watch. We all love this watch, but you may not be completely blown away or impressed by the inside of the watch, and that is because being a quartz movement, I think this is running, I think I've had people comment on my videos before, this is actually running a Miyota movement. Now you say, Aaron, there is no movement in there. There is a movement, and it's underneath this very, very large movement holder. This is plastic, this is shock resistance. This basically keeps the movement in place on the dial of the watch. So you kind of being careful of your rubber seal there on the back of the watch. You kind of want to use these 4 little notches you can see here to pry up this protective covering here. And you'll feel it come loose once it's evenly pulled up like that. And there we go. We can go ahead and get that out of there. And yeah, super impressive, guys. There's the little Miyota movement that actually runs the MDV-106. I think it's pretty interesting if you guys have never looked at the inside of one of these watches. I've had somebody comment before, on the video of the watch that the indices are actually pressed into the dial. They're not actually applied. And it's funny because when you look at it here, you can see that is absolutely true. Those numbers or those indices, I should say, are pressed into the dial. You can see the 12 o'clock up here, that double triangle. You can see the 6 o'clock rectangle down there. Very interesting the way this is done. Very, very mechanically done. Now I'm going to pause it, guys, real quick because I want to get some gloves on my hand before we actually go in and do the battery change here on the watch. All right, so probably not something I had to do, but like I said, I just wanted to get gloves on before I actually dug into this watch. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the battery from the watch here, and I know I should be using plastic pliers, but I don't have any available at the moment, so go ahead and just give it a little pry out of there. And it should come out fairly easily as I brutalize it here. Now let me see if I can't get my thumb underneath and lift up on that battery there. There it goes. There it goes. It's coming out of there. It's got a little spring, if you guys can see here. See if I can zoom in for you. It's got this little spring that actually retains it here, and it kind of goes in underneath and sits down inside of there. So we'll go ahead and set our movement down, and let's go ahead and get our new battery out here. Go ahead and zoom back out. And I probably should have opened this battery before I put the gloves on, but it is what it is. Boy, I might not be able to get this open with these gloves on. It looks like it's sealed in plastic here. What you always resort to is your teeth, right? I might break a tooth. Let me cut this. Oh, it goes in through the back there, so we got it. All right. So there's the new battery. I got it out of the package. There's our old battery there. Same little guy. And I don't want to mix them up, so I'm going to go ahead and set the old one off to the side. Now this is almost going to look brutal, but the easiest way to get this back in there is to actually push it back down underneath that spring tab there with my fingers, guys. So it's almost going to look kind of brutal getting it in there. If there's a better way of doing it, let me know down below in the description. But I've changed these batteries before. It's especially not easy doing it on camera, but you kind of got to slide it in goes. It's starting to go in there. Boy, oh boy, here. I may have to pause this, guys, and get through this off camera just because it's really hard to see from behind the camera. Yeah, let me pause it and I'll get that battery pushed back in there real quick. All right, guys, so yeah, I had to do that off camera. I actually dropped the battery once, but it's getting it underneath this little spring over here on the side and getting it pushed down into the movement nicely. So once you get your new battery in there, you're of course going to flip it over and give her a check. And yep, the MDV-106, my little buddy here, is up and running again. So at this point, you can go ahead and make sure you don't have anything foreign, any foreign object matter in there. The gloves help to keep any kind of oils in there that will actually cause corrosion on that movement. So you really, even though it seems a little overboard, you really should be using gloves anytime you're working around these electronic movements like that. Because even just the smallest amount of your, the oils from your hands and whatnot can be very corrosive on that small movement there. So go ahead and put the movement holder itself back in the watch. And you guys will notice your crown position has the little slot for the crown and the stem there. And you're just going to gently push this back into place, making sure it's in a good position there. That's also going to help, obviously, hold the battery down in the watch too. So now when you're doing this, be careful. I just accidentally knocked the little rubber seal there. And you want to make sure that is set down in the case nicely as so. So simple as that, guys. Changing the battery on your Casio Marlin, your MDV-106. See if we can get this thing screwed back down. And there it goes. Getting it started. And now you got the watch. And it's funny, I've heard a lot of people say, hey, I'll just go buy another one because they're 40 or 50 bucks. But the battery for the watch was only like $4.29. So it's really quite a good deal to go ahead and just replace the battery. And it's easy enough to do yourself. There you go, not too tight. Especially if you guys have any of your, basic watch tools. It's not really that hard to do. So, it took me way longer to do this on camera than it probably would have been if I just done it myself. So 7 or 8 minutes for the video, and that's what it is. But get you back into your Marlin, the MDV-106, a classic watch from Casio. And for $4.30, you guys can throw a new battery in it and make it like new for another few years. So, all right, guys, thanks. That's been the battery change on the Casio Marlin. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up down there at the bottom. And if you've not subscribed to the OFD channel yet, please do. Please do. Thanks, guys.